Hello, my name is Gina Wolfhard, and today I'm going to be talking about the Salton Sea. So the Salton Sea is California's largest body of water. It's 376 square miles. It's home to a geothermal field to the south, a fun little sinkhole known as the Nyland Geyser, and it also has a wildlife habitat, mainly for migratory birds. This is a very, very hot, very dry desert. As you can see, the yearly average is 88 degrees with highs of 107 degrees Fahrenheit and lows of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's right near the Mexican border in the southern part of California. So what happens is the Colorado River flows into it. So does a bunch of aqueducts and just agricultural runoff flows right into it. However, it just stays there. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a terminal lake, meaning that like it doesn't flow out anywhere else. How salty is the Salton Sea? Well, the Salton Sea is approximately like 60 parts per thousand. In comparison, the ocean water is approximately 35 parts per thousand. And it's also, the salinity is increasing each year because the really hot, dry temperatures, and the water line is decreasing as well. It was created by the San Andreas Fault and the Imperial Fault, kind of like swooshing next to each other, but not exactly close enough. There's this extensional stress happening as they pull apart, creating a basin. This is called a strike slip tectonics, or like lateral movements. These like right stepping offset is known as extensional step over, because deformation happens in the zone of offset, which is why there's this space in here. And as you can see here, the lines that are a little bit more vertical, those are those side steppings, creating this like rift in that area. And within that rift, right, we're going to see these geothermal fields popping up, which is like magma coming up and creating little hot spots. On the left here, this is like a thermal area of that little area in the south of the Salton Sea. And as you can see, there's like 5-ish like hot spots, which there's lava flowing, so there's like little tiny volcanoes and like mud splats, and there's a lot of rhyolite and minerals coming up. And just north of there, you can see where it says Imperial CO2 field. That's where the Nyland Geyser is. Now this is like a moving mud pot or mud spring. It's an area of geological instability, and it's from this rift being pulled apart. And carbon dioxide is being released, which just creates this like muddy, bubbly, shifting mess. And if you look to your right corner, right bottom corner, you can see it's getting dangerously close to this railroad, which is really beneficial to agriculture. And so they're trying to stop it from moving, but it's gonna do what it's got to do. Talking about agriculture, so an agricultural sump is when liquid collects, and what's happening is the saline, or the Salton Sea is an agricultural sump, because as agriculture is happening all over the state, it's being kind of like pumped, or not pumped, but like navigated towards the Salton Sea, which high levels of fertilizers, minerals, nutrients, and salts, and that's going into the Salton Sea. However, because it's so hot and dry, it's evaporating, causing like really high concentrations of these nutrients, which feed algae, and this creates these massive blooms which, as you can see here, this is an aerial of the Salton Sea, and it's almost completely covered in an algae bloom. I believe this was in 2017. And although it's beautiful, it's very dangerous for the wildlife. It's going to kill off a lot of wildlife, mostly the fish. Nothing can live there. Nothing can like hang out around there, including these migratory birds, which it's important because we have these wetlands habitats, which there's a lot of protected species here, right? We have the Yuma clapper rail, we have the bald eagles coming in, California bound pelican, and some falcons, and not only that, just like other migratory birds like Canadian geese or snow geese, and they can't really stop here if it's toxic. However, the Salton Sea Management Program is a program that was started in 2018. They're thinking by 2028 they could have filled the basin with more water, creating 30,000 acres of habitat. They're gonna, with more water in there, there's dust suppression, which it's dry. These really salty areas are being dried, and the dust goes into the environment, causing really bad respiratory stuff for people and animals that live in that area. And they're building infrastructure in order to bring more water in to make it more habitable, and planting vegetation. So here's like a nice little view of the whole valley. We got the Coachella, the Desert Shore, Salton City. Down here, where's this Sunny Bono? That's where the nature preservation is. So as this yellow arrow is the San Andreas Fault. We have the other fault coming in, and here's where the geothermal fields are. Here's where the Nyland Geyser is, and here's where the wildlife habitat is. And you can see it's kind of like where this is happening with the plate tectonics, is where all this like activity is happening. And that's my presentation. Okay, thank you very much.